Welcome back. So far, I have discussed about the constraint minimization of functions as well as functional. So, in the previous class, what we have found that if I have some functional and functional has certain kind of constraint in form of point constraint form or differential constraint form, then how to solve the minimization or extremization problem of the functional. In today's lecture, I am going to talk about another constraint, and basically that class of constraint most of time occur in control problem, and due to that reason control point of view this lecture is more important. So let us first try to revise whatever we have learned so far related to constraint extremization or minimization or optimization problem related to the functional. So what is my problem statement? We have certain kind of functional, and functional I have defined by this kind of definite integral, and omega t, that is belongs to n cross m. So I have omega t is some kind of function which has n cross m entry. So this is somehow I can interpret that is a column vector with n minus m entry of the functions omega 1, omega 2 up to omega n plus m. Now I have to find the necessary condition for a function omega star to be extremal for a functional of this required form, this particular form. And what we have observed in the previous class, that if I have point constraint that is defined like this particular linear or nonlinear algebraic equation, then we are defining some kind of augmented integral function, and after that what basically we are doing, that we are solving the Euler equation or Euler-Lagrange equation, and we know what is meaning of Euler-Lagrange equation, and after that we are also at the same time we are forcing that at the optimal point that constraint remains satisfied. In this way I am able to solve the optimal problem of any functional whenever I have point constraint. So again I have to just use Euler equation, and in order to use Euler equation I have to find the some kind of augmented function. Similar kind of idea what we have found that in case of differential equation constraint, and what we have shown that in previous class, that whenever I have some kind of process or some kind of system that is governed by differential equation, so somehow whenever we are solving the optimal control problem, so that particular differential equation which we are obtain after the mathematical modeling, that acts as a some kind of constraint during the optimization problem. So and most of time we are representing our system with some kind of differential equation that might be autonomous, non-autonomous, or some kind of non-linear differential equation, and due to that reason I have represented in more general form. And again if I have to optimize the same function, that g integral t0 to tf g omega t omega dot, and at that time again we are defining augmented function, just change is here, and after that again we are solving the Euler-Lagrange equation, and we are also forcing that at the point of extremization this differential inequality will also satisfy. In today's lecture we are going to see the third class of problem So basically optimization problem remains the same. I have omega. Omega has n number of entry in column vector form, which is all are function, and after that I have to minimize some kind of functional that is defined by t0 to tf, integral t0 to tf, and g omega t and omega dot t also might be that is function of t. So we have to actually extremize that. Now I am going to change the constraint. So two constraints we have already seen, point constraint and another is differential equation constraint. Let us try to understand the meaning of this isoperimetric constraint. So basically if you see the literature, then this kind of constraint basically comes into picture by first of all that is reflected in the work of this particular scientist Quinn Dido, and that is length transaction problem. And what is basic idea of this problem? She attempted to find the curve having a fixed length which enclose a maximum area. And whenever we are talking about area, you might have seen that in order to represent area we have to use some kind of integral, and due to that reason constraint which now going to come into picture, that is form of the definite integral, and since that is fixed length, so value of that definite integral is also fixed. So due to that reason this perimetric constraint can be represented like this due to the area and equal to ci. Ci is some kind of constant number and I have r number of entry, so ei 1 2 up to r. In control problem, if you see the control problem, so this kind of control problem is very much relevant, and most of time what happens that almost all system, if you are talking about robotic system or some kind of rocket kind of system or any vehicle kind of system, everywhere I have fuel. And what is our aim? We have to optimize the amount of the expenditure of that fuel or energy. So using minimum amount of fuel, I want to cover maximum distance, or I want to cover maximum job. So that is our aim. And in that class of problem, if you look carefully, then this kind of constraint comes into picture, that is isoperimetric constraint, which is first introduced by Quinn Dido. So let us try to come on the problem statement. So again problem statement remains the same. I have some function omega t, and omega t basically belongs to R n cross m column matrix, and I have to extremize this functional, and inside functional I have function omega t. So I have to find the value of this function such that this functional, that is function of function, that is j omega, is extremal. And now constraint is in isoperimetric form, and in isoperimetric form I have already told you that I have fixed length but I have to maximize the area, and whenever we are talking about area under curve, at that time we are using the integral, and time is from t0 to tf, and I am assuming that I have r number of constraint. So now you can see that in calculus, if you see the literature of calculus, then if I have integral equation, then it is possible to convert that integral equation into differential equation. So I am going to take help of that, and once I have differential equation, we know how to solve the optimal control problem whenever I have or some kind of variational problem related to the functional, whenever I have some kind of differential kind of constraint. So what is our aim? Convert this particular isoperimetric constraint into some differential form. So how to do that? So idea is pretty simple. You can define this constraint as a z high t, but please be careful, because I have to express this integral constraint in terms of some kind of differential equation. And so due to this reason, you can see that here I have written t. I haven't written tf, but what I am assuming that once t equal to tf, then z I tf is exactly equal to this value, means that is value whatever I have defined, that is c. So that is our idea, because I am assuming this whole term as a zi. So this kind of assumption I have. So now try to see the boundary condition. What we are telling that at t equal to 0, this is 0, and z high t equal to tf, this is ci. So this kind of condition I have now. Now if you express this particular quantity in terms of the differential equation, then we have to take the derivative. So if you take the derivative, then what happens? Differential equation is now converted into integral equation, is now converted into differential equation. So now if you represent this differential equation in vector or matrix form or vector form, then I have this kind of things where z is column vector z1 z2 z3 up to zr, and e is also column vector e1 e2 e2 e3 up to er. So in this way I can able to represent the integral constraint or isoperimetric constraint in form of differential. And once I have differential constraint, now you are able to aware that how to solve the optimization problem or extremization problem. So I have to again define the augmented function, and at this time in augmented function I have some kind of Lagrange multiplier. After that I have z dot, because in this particular equation you can see that z dot is involved, and due to that reason what I have done that I am assuming that augmented function contain these many of arguments, and after that again you can define augmented function in same way. Now what you can do, you can solve the Euler equation same like the previous, and at the same time you have to force that whatever constraint that should be satisfied, means constraint differential equation constraint that is given by this. So at the point of extremal omega star omega dot star, this kind of equation will satisfy, and here z dot, so z dot star also comes into picture. So if you solve the Euler Lagrange equation, then you are able to get n plus m equation in terms of this omega, because omega belongs to n cross m. And after that, in order to set r different equation, you have to solve this kind of basically partial differential equation, again same like Euler. Now you can see that at the same time this should be satisfied. One more observation that I have already told you, that final value of this quantity should be Ci, that is always there. So this is basically the boundary condition. Now one more important point here, that Ga is just function of z dot, not function of z, and due to that reason if you solve the equation, then dou Ga by dou z equal to 0, and if you calculate dou Ga by dou z dot, that is equal to P star. So this kind of things comes into picture. So please check it, that is very easy to check, because if you see the augmented function, then inside the augmented function I have P transpose T E and z dot, and I am calculating dou Ga by dou z dot. So that is nothing but minus P transpose T or P star, you can write, because I have to match the dimension. so that is P star T, and due to that reason, this, in order to maintain the extremal, I have to force this equal to 0, so P star equal to T equal to 0. It means that Lagrange multiplier, whatever we have defined, so that should be constant. So that is the interpretation. Now let us try to see one problem. So here first I am going to state very simple problem. So I have some kind of functional. Now I have some kind of isoperimetric constraint and C is specified. So I have to find the necessary condition. So again I am going to proceed in similar way. I am going to define the integral constraint into differential constraint. I am going to maintain the boundary point, and after that I am going to define the augmented function, and after that I have to just solve the Euler equation across this particular point omega star, omega dot star, P star, Z dot star. And if you do that, then you are able to get these many of equations. So please check it. And after that I need some kind of additional condition also. Initially I have 0, and at the final point this is equal to C. So you have to solve this. Now let us try to see the extension of this particular topic. So in this particular topic I have basically revised two different problem related to constraint extremization or optimization of some kind of functional. First constraint we have seen, that is point constraint. Second one is differential constraint. And after that we have developed theory for the isoperimetric constraint. And what we have observed, that by defining suitable variable I can able to change isoperimetric constraint into differential constraint, and after that I will apply whatever theory we have learned in the previous class. But if you see the control problem basically contain two different classes of constraint. So what I have told you, that whenever I have some kind of physical system, we are representing some system using differential equation. And if you see the differential equation, that is nothing but some kind of process which is going to follow that particular differential equation. It means that process is constrained to follow that particular differential equation. So we have one set of constraint in form of differential equation. Another important thing, I have control input, and control input that is going to generate some kind of trajectory, and that trajectory is basically optimized or constrained by the differential equation. And at the same time I have to basically optimize the control input. It means that control also have some kind of constraint in form of integral or in form of isometric. It means that control is always bounded, and using that bounded control we have to achieve certain kind of optimized objective which is optimal. So let us try to see that. I have second order system and I have just single input control, and after that I have to minimize this kind of performance measure. Performance measure here I am assuming that is only in form of the state, and after that total energy that should be between T0 to Tf. Suppose I have to move some system from one point to another point, T0 to Tf. In this process I am assuming that total energy, integral of total energy is C, that remain constant, that, and after that at the same time I am going to optimize this particular function, and you try to see that system is going to follow this differential equation. It means that system is constrained to this particular differential equation. So I have differential equation constraint, I have some kind of functional, and I have integral or isoperimetric constraint. So I have two constraints whenever I have control problem. One constraint, that is differential constraint, another is isoperimetric constraint, and after that I have to optimize some functional. So let us try to see that how to extend theory, because individually I know how to apply. So idea is again pretty simple. What you can do, first you try to formulate the problem whatever way we have done in the previous class and today's lecture. So what I am going to assume, one state variable x1 as a w1, x2 as a w2, u as a w3. After that I have retained my functional in or performance measure in terms of that, and after that this is the equation of process, and somehow that I am going to express process in some kind of differential constraint, and after that this is my isoperimetric constraint. Now I am going to define the augmented function. So you can see that this augmented function, this particular part is coming from the functional. This P1, P2 and P3 are the Lagrange multipliers, and this is from differential constraint, this is from differential constraint, and this is from integral constraint. And how to define integral constraint? I have this, so I am going to define this as a zi, and after that I am going to take the derivative of this, and due to that reason I have this kind of things comes into picture. So using Lagrange multiplier, just you can define the augmented function, and after that now task is pretty easy. You can apply the Lagrangian equation, Euler equation, and Euler equation in terms of dou omega, dou Ga augmented function by dou omega, and after that dou Ga by dou z dot. You have to solve it, and after that what happens, you will get this set of equation. So please check it, that after solving that particular differential equation I have this many of the differential algebraic equations. Some equation is differential equation, some equation will give us some kind of boundary condition, this kind of things, this kind of things, and after that p3 dot equal to 0, that will give us some kind of boundary condition, and all are the differential equation. So in this way we are able to generate the necessary condition. If all equations are satisfied, then we are able to tell that my trajectory is going to follow that constraint, and after that we are also equally able to tell that my control, whatever expenditure of control, that remains equal to C. So now I am going to conclude this lecture, and basically this is last lecture on the variational calculus, and after that I am going to apply variational calculus to fully optimal control problem. In between also I have talked several times optimal control problem, but what is background of variational calculus? I have some result in calculus, and I have extended that for the variational calculus. And after that what we have seen, that whenever in calculus I have constraint and I have to minimize some function, here same kind of result we have extended whenever we have function and I have to extremize, minimize or optimize, you can tell, some function. So, and another important observation from the today's lecture, that whenever we are going to design some kind of optimal control system, at that time, for in any realistic situation, I have to optimize something, so that is actually supplied by the user or engineers, and after that I have mathematical model of process, that is basically differential constraint, and after that always I have some restriction on the fuel or amount of control. that is isoperimetric constraint. So basically, using control I can generate the trajectory, but process is going to give some kind of constraint, and whatever independent variable, again independent variable I have to maintain within some limit, so that one can express in terms of the isoperimetric constraint. So next lecture onward I am going to totally focus on optimal control problem. So with this remark I am going to end the today's lecture. So thank you very much.